Okay, welcome to another session with Hobby to Business. What we're going to talk about today is something that is so integral to you achieving not only the fact of turning your hobby into a business, but it's just becoming more productive in your general day life. And it's called time management, okay? There's a couple of tiny little secrets. You can jump onto all these websites and you can see all these different things about how to become a better organizer, how to become a better manager. You know, there's a couple of basic concepts. If you apply it to your day, your output will go through the roof. Where you're achieving 5 or 6 things in a day, you will achieve 25, 30 things in a day. So what we're going to talk about today is a couple of basic little areas of time management. I mean, in later videos, we'll go a lot more in depth on how to achieve it and how to get these massive results. But I mean, there's a couple of things I like to do. 5 minutes, you know, a general rule, 5 minutes at the start of the day and 5 minutes at the end of the day. Okay, so the 5 minutes at the end of the day is just as important as the 5 minutes at the start of the day. Now, what you do is you really need to know at the start of the day what your jobs are. So I sit there, I just do a basic list, okay? 1 through, and I think of what I've got to get done for that day as a, not even as an order of priority yet, just a list. I might come up with a list of 20 things I've got to get done that day. All right. What I do then is I will prioritize those things. I will go through and, you know, anything that needs to be done first, you know, the first 1 or 2 things I've got to do, I'll put an asterisk next to and I'll work on those and then I'll get those done. And then once I do that, I will go back to that list and I will pick the next 2 things. So it's a constant process of prioritization. And why I go through and do gradual prioritization like that is because during the day, you know, things will change. Life happens, you know, and you've got to look at, you know, something that was maybe had to be done that day, circumstances change and now it doesn't have to be done, or it does have to be done today, but it's not as important that you get it done in the morning. So I go through and I have a list and then I gradually prioritize as I go through that list. Like at the start, I do a rough overall prioritization. I have a look at it and I go, right, they're my top 3 things I've got to start on. Focus, go and hit them, bang. It's very important. You've got to feel as you're going through the day, what happens is, if you get the more jobs you get done, the more you achieve further. You get a bit of a roll on, you know, you get some momentum. Now, this is a little technique you use to build that momentum. As you finish a job, put a highlighter through it. Mark it as done. However you like to see that it's done, mark it through. So that you can get, say, halfway through the day and see that you've knocked off 2/3 of your list. You'll find that regularly when you're using techniques like that, they're silly little things, but they help you achieve so much more because they control your state of mind. They keep that forward momentum rolling. As you do things, you need to make sure that, you know, 1, 2, 3, done. You know, go back to the list. Check again. What's the next couple of priorities? Right, hit those priorities. And then you'll find, you know, if you're getting halfway through the day and getting over half of your list done, the momentum just builds and you go through and get more and more and more done. And then we come to the very final step. The most important one, I think, is your review at the end of the day. 5 minutes at the end of the day. So what we do there is, we go back to our list and we see what we got done and what we didn't. Whatever we didn't get done, we start transferring to our list for the next day. So you're also prepping your list for the next day. And then you have these three or 4 things or whatever you don't get done listed there for the next day. So already that 5 minutes at the end of the day, you're already starting to organize what you've got to get done the next day. All right, so the 5 minutes, it's review. Mark off anything you've done during the day that you haven't marked off yet. See what needs to get done. Put it in tomorrow's list and prioritize a little bit out of that. So you've already got a head start when you have your 5 minutes at the start of the day tomorrow. So some very simple little time management techniques there, and probably a really good visualization. If you see, this is my diary here. If I don't break my pen while I'm doing it. You know, and I've started my list and I've got my priorities, and as I go through the day, I mark them off and they're done. So as you can see, everything that's highlighted is finished. When I go through, say this is this morning's list and this is what I've done so far today. You know, I've transferred, these are things that, you know, I've organised previously that had to happen the next day. Whatever I don't get done today will get transferred to that list, and my last 5 minutes at the end of the day, that transferring will happen, plus a bit of a quick prioritisation so that I know what I need to hit in the morning. And then tomorrow's 5 minutes in the morning is just a confirmation that my organisation is right, nothing's changed overnight, and I'm into it, I hit it, and you're away. And I mean, they're tiny little techniques. Like I said, you can watch all this stuff on the net about all, buy these programs to organise your time, a pen, paper, you can do it all the same. It's nice and easy, and that's the thing about hobby to business. We're teaching you how to do things without these massive inputs of money. The easy way to do it. So that's it for today, and we'll see you in the next video.